Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back, everybody out there in TV land, to another edition of Jedi Academy, the Q&A show where we spend all of our time with our great panel of insiders and guests answering all of your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes questions or life. We could talk about life, but really we want to talk about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes questions. Let's not get too much into the life questions. Um, and joining me today for this wonderful journey is a cast of crew and people that you know and love. And let's go ahead and introduce everybody on the panel. First of all is my main man with the plan, the brown Gandalf, beardless one himself, the government Wi-Fi stealer, Grande Patrona.
What's up, dude? How's it going, Jedi Academy?
I know.
We are glad to be here. And
Everybody's yeah, we got coffee and some croissants, and we're getting ready to rock and roll with this. And also joining us today is, of course, the lightsaber builder extraordinaire himself, Mr. Sir Loki.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to talking about this wonderful game we play.
That's right, and Loki is like the rest of us. He's trying to pump in the caffeine as we speak to become out of an unconscious state. And of course, joining us as well is the Dark Lady of the Sith herself, Miss Darth Bella, all the way from Germany. Guten Tag, Darth Bella.
Hi, how are you all?
We're trying to wake up, but it's like what, afternoon over there. So
Yeah,
you're like you losers.
yeah. I'm trying to wake up as well. I have
What?
a coffee here.
Oh, well, did
It's
you
it's
sleep
it's
in or?
really hot here. Yeah, well, that too, but it's very hot here, and so
Well,
best you can
wait,
do is
wait a
just
minute.
sleep.
When you say hot, what's the temperature?
Yeah. Um, it was like over 30 degrees in Celsius. That's how much in Fahrenheit again? It's
What
like
is the conversion
70
rate?
something.
That's hot for
70
you
something, I
guys?
think.
It's like 90 something degrees here. In our in was it? You get me all confused now.
wait. What did she say the temperature was?
I,
Like
I, I
in the
don't know.
What did you?
70s?
What was the
You
temperature in
losers.
Celsius again?
Yeah, I'm trying
34.
to wake up as well. I
What?
Let's
have
see.
30 something.
Let, let's see. 93.
Ah, okay. That
93. Let, oh, 93. Let me give you an example of what it was in here. Just to think about it. Our Fahrenheit here. So yesterday it was 122 in Texas.
oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that is in Celsius. It's probably like 40.
Like you walk outside and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I just want to melt, and you actually melt. I think parts of us melt off each day. Um, and of course we've got a special
50. It's
guest today.
50. It was 50 in Celsius.
Oh my god, it's too high.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Back to our
yeah,
normally
so we
scheduled
got to
programming.
introduce, yeah. So and then also joining us today, we have a special guest, and he has been a part of our fan base and someone we have got to know and definitely wanted on, and that is Mr. Turbs. Turbs, welcome to the Jedi Academy. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself that don't know anything about you.
Well, thanks for having me, first of all.
Your
Nice to be
what?
in the shop rather than looking for.
Okay.
Nice to be in the shop rather than looking through the window.
That's right.
It's okay. It's okay. I can translate for anyone who doesn't speak Smithy D. So
Right,
if
right.
anybody,
Yeah,
just messing with you, terms.
yeah.
We are really glad to have you
Translate.
here. We are, however, 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 I know that some of our audience is doesn't speak
We
Smithy
don't
D. So
speak that. We don't speak that kind around here.
Hopefully, I'm a little bit more understandable than Smithy.
That's right.
there you go. There
Oh.
you go.
And I also,
We love Smithy.
Remon will be on. I know that. I think Warrior forgot to wake up again, so he'll probably pop in. And then I'm not sure what happened to Mike. Maybe he's got lost in France again or something. Maybe he got sunburned, forgot. I don't know. But I'm sure the cast of the other characters will pop in, and we'll say hi to them when they come in. So the way this works, guys, this format is you put in your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes questions. We will scoop them up, and we will answer them to our best of our ability. That can be anything from ships. That could be anything on PvP. That can be anything about your roster. It could be anything that you want us to
Is
answer.
Finn scraping
Raids.
questions today?
Huh?
I haven't seen Finn. Is Finn scraping questions yet
No,
today or
that'll
no?
that'll
I mean,
be that'll be me doing that on top of
well, hold
everything
on. I
else.
mean, I'm sitting here. I can scrape questions.
Oh, okay. I
So
wasn't sure
put
if you
your
were going to be able to or not.
yeah. Well, I can. I'm done driving now, and
Oh,
now
okay.
I'm at my normal regular setup.
Okay, good.
So I can scrape questions.
Yes.
So stick your questions in the live chat,
Make sure you put
and
question. You know,
make sure you make
or put.
say question real big, so that way we can make sure we get that, and then we will go from there. So that's kind of how we'll do that. And I
Yes.
kind of scrolled all the way back up to the top. I didn't see a whole lot. Kind of a
Everyone's
slow
saying,
week today
yeah,
for news.
yeah, it really was. I mean, that's that was our main subject of the Wednesday stream was lack of anything new. It was like, what's going on?
It was a little strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, because
Um,
we've been getting all these updates and stuff. Well, that's understandable. I mean, maybe they don't have anything to put out, but they said wait till July next month, which
or
isn't.
wait, yeah. So wait till well, I mean, we're getting really close to July, so it'd be awesome if they would. We need a new login character. We potentially need some other things. So it would be great to be able to see see potentially what some of that is going to be like going forward. Here is a question from Evergoo. He says, question for Jedi Academy users: what's your favorite Jedi composition or exact turn order? Always love the show and thanks a lot. So that's the first question. Let's throw that out. We'll just go in order. Darth Bella, what's your favorite Jedi team, and what would you put them in as the turn order? So who would be your leader, and how would they go?
Yeah, I have Jedis. I mean, you have to. Well, I haven't.
You could throw a non-Jedi in there. I know where you're going. So yeah, you could throw one non-Jedi in.
No. The thing is, I'm still farming Isla. That's why I
Yeah.
don't have her in my team, because otherwise, of course, she would be in my team. Just saying.
Part of your Blue Man group, right?
Yeah, my blooming. I put her in there, and she was great. I mean, she really was great. So Jedi. My Jedi team, I have Imagandai lead. I have Yoda in there. I have JKA in there, Ahsoka Tano, and QGJ.
Yep. Qui-Gon
that
Jinn.
works really well, and I love the counter attack. So
Absolutely.
I'm not quite sure who is going first.
No, you're good. so
they all attack at once.
There you go. So Loki, Jedi team. What's your favorite Jedi team?
If I was going to run a Jedi team in Arena, so definitely be Zeta, Qui-Gon Jinn, General Kenobi if you got him. Probably Anakin, so Jedi Knight Anakin, and then R2-D2 would be the other spot.
Right.
Maybe like Ezra or
Ezra. That's a good choice.
I mean, Ayla's good too. There's a couple of guys on my shard that run them, and then the turn order would be something like I forgot was Yoda. I got to throw Yoda in there. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So it's got to be Zeta, Qui-Gon Jinn, Yoda, General Kenobi. So those are always like the three that I want to keep, and then you can always sub in two. I'd pick R2-D2 and Anakin for sure. So the turn order would be Yoda going first. He's going to throw the battle meditation up, and then from there it's kind of like a toss-up. I guess R2-D2 could go next after Yoda, and then kind of stealth everybody.
Yep.
And then At that point, then it'd probably be Anakin because he's easier to get sped up, and instead of General Kenobi's a little slower, so
Right.
probably gonna be like then it's gonna be Anakin, and then last he'll put the retribution up or something. So
Right.
that's kind of like how I see the turn order.
Yeah, I just forgot. Of course, Yoda has to go first, and I don't run them in arena. I was just saying it's in raids.
Yes.
In P1, I run the Jedi team.
There you go.
But,
I know Rima. I know
arena
Rima
is a little different, I think.
Yeah, arena is a little different. Riemann, question is, what's your favorite Jedi team, and who's the leader, and what's the turn order? And you could throw one non-Jedi in there if you need to. Riemann, I noticed you just jumped in. What is your favorite Jedi team, and what would the turn order be?
Well, I didn't just jump in. I actually was here before all of you guys. But then
Yeah, but you had to go take a phone
away.
call. Yeah.
I had to step away for a moment, but now I'm back. So yes, I'm here. But a Jedi team. I also just want to go back to when you were talking to Sir Loki there for a minute. When he said Ezra, like the way you reacted to that was awesome. Like he said,
I love Ezra. Yeah,
he was like Ezra, and you were like, yeah, that's a good one.
He was like, I always forget about Ezra. And then when
I was thinking about, I heard you do that, and I was like, man, I was like, Grande should sell cheeseburgers or something too. I mean, he just made that sound so good. I mean, he was
licking his lips.
You were like,
sure.
Ezra. Oh.
he was like Ezra. He was like Ezra, and you were like, yeah, Ezra.
I always forget about Ezra, and then I'm like, oh yeah, he's so good because he basically got me Thrawn, and I always have to remember that. I'm like, Ezra, bro, you got me Thrawn. You're like my new Asajj Ventress. That's all I got to say.
If you didn't have an Ezra Bridger already, Grande just made you want one that much more. But no, it was so my favorite Jedi team. I run one right now in arena congruent with my.
Nice.
Congruent with my makeshift Thrawn team that doesn't really hold on defense too well, but so I have a Qui-Gon Jinn lead with General Kenobi, Yoda, Ezra Bridger, and then I also use R2-D2 with 2 Zetas. But I mean, if you were talking about just complete Jedi squad. I might even consider maybe Kanan Jarrus for that spot, or Ayla Secura.
Oh yeah, I like Ayla. Everybody forgets about her, and then you put her back in a team, and you're like, oh yeah, Ayla's awesome.
I mean, you have the taunt with Kenobi, so it's okay. You don't necessarily have to have like R2-D2. You can use like another attacker there. You can use Anakin or Ayla really in that spot, and I think you'd be fine. But on defense, having the Zeta R2-D2 really makes them a lot better because of the health increase and the offense increase. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Turbs, what's your thought on a Jedi team, and who's leader, and who and the maybe or maybe not putting in one non-Jedi?
Lead, it's got to be Qui-Gon Jinn. He was actually my first Zeta. I've not run in the arena for a while. There's a couple in my arena that are sometimes pretty hard to beat. Just all the foresight, and if you don't get it right at the beginning, they're a tough team to beat sometimes. They surprise you. But the same as everybody else, to be honest, it's going to be Qui-Gon Jinn. I do like Anakin on offense, maybe not on defense. Going to be GK. Yoda, you've got to have your Zeta Yoda in a Jedi team. He's obviously got to go first as well. It depends on offense. I really like Ezra. I've been talking to some of the guys in our alliance, and some have been posting screenshots and raving that they've got Ezra's offense up super high, and they're getting 20k double taps. So that's 40k from a basic.
Dang.
Which is pretty sick, to be honest. Yeah, for fun on offense, I'd go Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin, Ezra, GK, and Yoda. So a full lot, and then, like you said, maybe sub in Ayla and a R2 for Ezra and Anakin on defense. Maybe one's a bit more defense minded, and obviously the one's more attack minded. But not just fun team to use, and still viable, like a lot of the things out there at the minute.
Absolutely. We have a special question here for Ranger from E. Walkin. He says, question, can you open packs today, Ranger? Thanks in advance.
No.
That's what I thought too. Okay.
There's nothing to buy. I mean, I understand.
I know.
There's literally nothing to buy. There's nothing I need. I pretty much have everybody open. It's like, and there's nothing in there that I really want to spend any kind of money on whatsoever. So
we have a question. We have a question here from Fatal One TYV2, whatever. So that he says, has Crazy been abducted by a chicken? No, Crazy has not been abducted by a chicken. Crazy typically jumps in on our Wednesday streams, but so yes, well, I guess so. Yes, for the purposes of Jedi Academy, Crazy has been abducted by a chicken.
I thought she was meeting a zebra.
Yes, that's what she's.
She's got me in a zebra, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's had some issues with the chicken.
Yeah,
I mean, cost her a burnt finger. I mean, it's pretty gruesome.
So, Cussman the Legend says, question, what do you guys think is the best cross-meta team to eat all metas? So I want to, we'll take this in order. Let's go to Turbs. Turbs, what do you think is the best cross-meta team to eat all metas at the moment?
Cross-meta?
So in other words, you could pick any team you want. For this is going to be for Arena. You can pick it, you know, what we mean by cross meta is he means
current or past meta.
Yeah, well, yeah, or he what he means is like not necessarily a full synergy team. So like not all Jedi or all clones, but you can kind of pick from, you know, but you can do light side, dark side, basically. You know what he basically means, it doesn't have to be a pure synergistic team to work. What do you think? What do you think would be the best team to beat all teams?
To be honest, it's the current meta, not necessarily Rex Lead. I've not always been a fan of Rex Lead.
Right.
I run for a long time, and it's still actually on defense on my galactic. I still get the guys in our alliance saying that they hate me because they got me on Node 9 and stuff like that. But it's GK Lead, Darth Nihilus, GK Lead, Darth Nihilus. I forget what I was talking about. GK Lead, Darth Nihilus, R2. And Jez, Bez, and Chirrut.
Yeah.
It's just got everything. Obviously, the only reason it's GK lead is because he's the only viable leader that's in that squad. Nobody else is really a leader because you're not going to use Darth Nihilus, are you?
No.
But again, GK and Jez who just hold the fort with the taunts.
Agreed.
All the time, it's just increasing cooldowns and taking away enemy buffs all the time, and then he jumps in with the Annihilate, and then obviously Chirrut's just chipping away at them all the way through. It's just a really good team all round on attack and defense. I think that's still one of the most rounded squads out there at the minute.
Absolutely. Sir Loki, what do you think is the best team right now to beat all metas?
So when you say cross meta, does that mean just nobody has synergy, or there's only like one or two, or what?
Exactly. It doesn't have to be a pure synergistic team like all Jedi or all clones or something.
I mean, at the moment, I think, like for myself, so I run an Empire Sith team, but again, you know, everybody's got a synergy with somebody. So I run a Zeter lead with Sith Assassin, Darth Nihilus, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and General Kenobi. That's what I run right now. That thing holds like crazy on defense, at least for me.
Man, I gotta see what mods you're running on that team, because we were trying to work out a Vader lead team the other day for somebody, and we couldn't ever get the mods right. So I definitely want to see what you're doing to make that team work.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, right now, because nobody's running Zeta Maul right now, so you know, it's got the same kind of exploit. I mean, you want Sith Assassin to make Darth Vader go first, and then he lands the dots that don't go away, right? And then the thing is you're gaming the AI on defense, right? So for some reason, when you throw the dots with Vader, the AI on the opposing team just goes crazy, and it starts cleansing itself and trying to put tenacity up and all this stuff. And the turn order is basically Sith Assassin, then Darth Vader throws the dots, then Darth Nihilus does a cooldown increase, And then Thrawn goes in, because by that time you either trigger General Kenobi or they got a base. Grand Admiral Thrawn goes in for the fracture, right? Because they're gonna have a taunt. And the issue with that is everybody knows Thrawn is not optimal on defense, but he seems to do the fracture when the other team's got a taunt or something. So you want to proc the taunt somehow with General Kenobi or Baze, and then your General Kenobi just goes on cleanup. So again, it's not a cross meta. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but Darth Vader's lead has synergy with both Empire and Sith, so just keep that in mind. But I do agree with Turbs. If you just want to go with nobody has synergy, that General Kenobi lead with with Chase and Darth Knight. I mean, you can't go wrong with that either.
Absolutely.
So either team works well.
Riemann, what do you think for a just kind of a hodgepodge team that'll beat all the metas?
Well, I mean, I'd like to say that it's a team with a lead with with Darth Nihilus and Death Trooper and a team like that. But unfortunately, the answer is not going to be that attractive. It's a Rex lead with General Kenobi, R2D2, Baze, and Chirrut. If you're talking about team on defense,
yeah.
Offense, I still think you could do a lot with that speed bonus or that turn meter bonus you get with Darth Maul at the beginning of a match. So you could do some sort of a hybrid Sith team with Maul lead, Nihilus, Sith assassin or Sith trooper, and then Baze and Chirrut or something like that. I mean, you could do some weird stuff like that. But if you're just talking about the best possible team you could put out there on defense, it'd still be like a triple cleanse.
Yeah. Ranger, you got any ideas on a cross meta team that you just think is sick good?
Well, they're all sick good, but the problem is that no matter how good your team is,
they don't hold on defense.
They're not going to hold on defense. So I think the thing you have to realize is there's no ultimate team, right?
Agreed.
There's triple cleanse. There's lots of different combinations with it. Jedi. There are teams out there, but you just have to be prepared that you're going to drop somewhat. There's no in previous metas where you have that team and pretty good chance you weren't going to drop. If you did drop, it was maybe like a spot or two, right? Because it just the way the AI works. I mean, yeah, triple cleanse gives you the best chance, but I mean, I face all those teams all the time and beat them, so it's not like it's going to stop you from getting crushed. It really isn't. So I think it gives you the best chance, but that's still not the best chance to hold on to your spot. But the meta is pretty clear about what is the best team right now by the percentages. So
Darth Bella, anything to add to that? You have a team you think is just super good?
Super good. Oops, I'm muted.
Or cross meta. I hear you.
Yes. I think it has been said all. Of course, my Blue Man group is really.
I love that Blue Man group.
OP.
I love that Blue Man group. Why don't you tell everybody what Blue Man group is, just for those who haven't seen the video? And by the way, you should go check out our Blue Man group video if you haven't seen it yet. But tell them what it is.
Yeah, I mean the Thrawn event was up, right? So we were all fighting for Thrawn, and he's a blue guy with red eyes. So the idea was to make a blue group, just with blue. Everyone had to be blue, and so I put in Lando because I didn't have any ability mats left, so I had to use Lando as a lead, and Thrawn, R2 was in there, Isla, and Fives.
Yeah.
So that was my Blue Man group, and you can, if you listen to it, it's a song. I'm all blue. I'm blue. I don't know if you know that.
I thought it was funny.
Is really.
And it's actually a pretty good team too, which I thought was cool as well, right?
It's fun.
Yep. So Alex Simpson says he has a question. My guild is beginning to gear up for heroic AAT. Do any of you know how the damage translates between T6 and heroic? I realize most of you probably have never done a T6, which is true. So does anyone here, I'll just kind of throw this out to the group and you guys could pick damage translations between a T6 tank raid and a heroic tank raid. I am not a big specialist on knowing how to pull someone from T6 to heroic, but I know the Alliance has done that, and I also know, Bella, you've helped some people with that as well.
Yeah, I just made a few screenshots. I just need to check. It's not 1 to 2, but well, that's a rule of thumb maybe, but it's even more.
It's more difficult, or it's easier than 1 to 2. You think?
Okay. At that time, for example, my Jedi would get 500k, and where is my Jedi? Here, they would get 143k. So that gives you
a rough idea. It was not quite.
Exactly
so it's not quite. It's a little more than halved. Okay.
Yeah, it's times 3 for the Jedi, but I think it was different for the different teams.
Gotcha.
It's probably team dependent as well. So there's safe assumption maybe times 3. I don't know.
Okay, that's pretty good. Anyone else have something to add? I think that's probably a good rule of thumb, though, for sure. Next question, or Turbs, you got something for that?
No, I was just reiterating that I've not got much to add. We've only ever done the normal AAT once, just to get open the heroic. Yep. We've had a mess around once. So I was just trying to look up the stats for the difference in the damage. If you can find on any of the sites what the total damage on the heroic is and what the total damage on the AAT, and that should give you a rough conversion, I would have thought. If it's 3 times the total damage, then that'll be a good rule.
It is very close to 3 times the. Well, it's very close to 3 times the HP, total hit points on the. So in other words, the T6 has like 50 million or something, and then the regular has like 50 million, and the heroic has 50 million, and the normal has like 150 million. It's something crazy like that. So,
around about time. Your characters go in with the same damage, don't they? So
it's a 1 to 3 is a good rule, but actually it's really team dependent. And in phase 3, for example, it was rather 1 to 2. So,
okay. Felipe Minicius has a question. He says, I run Rex Lead, Nihilus, Stormtrooper Han, Royal Guard, and Palpatine, and Shore Trooper. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. And Shore Trooper is an option for a poor second tank. You could run, if you're running Rex Lead, you want a lot of guys that are turn meter. That the team you got right there, you're basically asking for Nihilus and for Palpatine to be your big damage dealers. If you were you would probably want to say that you could run Shore Trooper on that team as an auto taunt. You probably want to maybe look at getting rid of Royal Guard, and then at some point you're going to need to probably gear Palpatine slightly differently, with more protection, because Palpatine and Rex are a little squishy. So you might want to look at remodding on that team. Does anybody else have any suggestions for him on that team if they think Shore Trooper would be a good option for a second tank? Probably swapping out either Stormtrooper Han or swapping out Royal Guard. His team again is Rex Lead, Nihilus, Stormtrooper Han, Royal Guard, and Palpatine. And he wants to know, would Shore Trooper be a good option for a second tank? Let's take this one to Sir Loki. Sir Loki, what do you think about that team?
I would totally. As you're climbing arena, I mean, Stormtrooper Han can only take you so far, and I do think Shore Trooper is a good substitute for him, because you do need. It's nice to have the auto taunter, and then as Shore Trooper starts going down, then RG will Royal Guard will do his thing too, right? So you got 2 tanks there with taunts, and then Ideally, Short Trooper would heal everybody, give everybody critical immunity, and prolong the battle. So I would definitely do Short Trooper for Stormtrooper Han.
Yeah, I think that's probably the general consensus. We're gonna have to run through these questions kind of quickly. Here's the next, because I'm starting to run out of space up over here because we're getting a bunch of questions. So Orentor777 asks a question. This question is, what is everyone currently using in Arena, and what is your rank currently? Now, of course, it's really early in the morning for some people, so their rank maybe a little bit different. I want to give this one to Riemann first. Riemann, what is your current Arena team, and what rank are you right now at this second? Let's see if Riemann is there. We will switch this over to Ranger. Ranger, what is your current Arena team, and what is your current rank?
Current rank is 10 right now. Of course, I haven't started my PvP day. But I typically finish 1 or 2, sometimes 3. But we kind of, in our server, pick
Have a little
days.
rotation.
Yeah, a little rotation, so everybody gets to taste number 1. I was number 1 yesterday, and my roster is, of course, Rex with Chase, and then I run Nihilus, and then I run a Xylo, and that team does pretty damn good for me. So
nice.
That's the team that I run right now.
Darth Bella, what is your current Arena team, and what is your current rank?
My current rank is 6, and yeah, it's not payout yet. Usually 1 to 3 on a bad RNG day. I don't know, maybe a little less.
Right. And what's your current team?
My team is actually I still run a wedge lead with Biggs, of course, and base road, and a double setup R2.
Nice.
And the double setup R2 really pushed me a lot, I have to say.
I would agree. That's a great team right there. I just got I went up against one of those teams, and I didn't get Wedge out quickly enough, and Wedge did his AoE and killed 2 characters at one time that were still in protection, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I lost that match. So definitely that Wedge R2 team is a super great team. Turbs, what is your current Arena team, and what is your current rank?
I've just looked. I am 9th, which isn't bad, seeing as I've not touched it since pay up at 6 p.m. last night. I'm currently running Rebels with Kenobi. I've got a wedge lead with Biggs, R2, General Kenobi, and I actually run Zeta Fulcrum.
Oh, nice. That's a cool team.
I had lots of fun with that. It's just I'm the same as Ranger, where we have an arena chat. But I don't necessarily share with anybody, but I can only attack an hour before my payout. So it's just great being able to press auto and then beat everybody in 60 seconds in limited time and get first every day. So
there you go.
That's the reason why.
Sir Loki, what's your team? I know you've already said it once, but let's say it again. And what's your current rank?
Hang on, I'm looking right now. So I am 5th right now, and the team is the Zeta lead with Grand Admiral Thrawn, Sith Assassin Darth Nihilus, and General Kenobi. Nice.
Riemann, did you make it back? Let's see if Riemann made it back for his Arena team. I don't think so. I'll tell you. So I am currently 8th. My team is Perfect Triple Cleanse Annihilate. So I am Rex, GK, Chirrut, Baze, and Nihilus, and I am currently sitting 8th. I also share with a guy, so I either get 1st or 2nd, and I have not touched it since 7 o'clock last night. So I've got over 14 hours since I've played an Arena battle. And that's where I'm at on that one. Here's a question. So this question is from Andreas Alhlin. He says, I've got all farmable ships to 7-star. When you guys speculate there will be more ships than fleet battles, and we need some ship stuff. So he says, when do we speculate that we will get more ships, and something more in ships than just fleet battles? Let's go with Darth Bella on this. Darth Bella, I know you're kind of our normal kind of ships expert. Are you playing with another lightsaber, Sir Loki? That's awesome.
Sorry, man. I thought I was on mute.
That was
You caught
great.
me.
That's
Love
it. Oh man, he's always building a lightsaber. By the
Uh,
way, if you have not checked out Sir Loki's channel and some of his lightsabers, they are freaking sweet. They really are. Darth Bella on ships. Do you when do you think we're going to get some more ships?
The obvious answer, of course, is August. No,
Yeah.
I'm joking. Could be July or August. I really hope they push the ship content, and as we expect new game mode, and we know ships are in the new game mode, so well, it would be a good move to make more of the ships we already have farmable on 3-star or 4-star, and you can't really use them.
Man, I
And-
totally agree with you, Darth Bella.
Yeah.
We definitely ships. I don't think anyone on this panel has privy to more information, but I think we all agree that we need more ships.
Yeah.
Here's a question from Jeremiah Lou 2. He says, are the Rogue One squad still viable in Arena? Absolutely, Rogue One is viable in Arena. I think you could run all 5 Rogue One. So you could run a Gen Lead, Chirrut, Baze. You could run Cassian, and you can run K2SO, and that team will work very well. You could also sub in or out 1 or 2 characters and make that team work. Does anybody else think that team's still viable? Turbs, you think that the Rogue One team could still be viable in Arena?
I run it for a little while. It's a great team. It's good fun as well. Good fun, especially if you've got Zeta Gen Lead. Obviously, with Baze and K2SO, you've got plenty of protection there. It's good fun. It's a little bit tougher to get first every day and climb, but it's definitely viable. Definitely. It's even better if you put POW in there.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Come on. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Wow. Jiminy cricket.
No, it's good. Take Cassian and K2 out and put GK and another in. It's not too bad. They're good characters.
Here's a question from Volk Mastorovic. He says, ships, Exectrix lead. Who to put in with 2 subs? So basically what he's saying is that he's running pretty much all of the Empire ships. So if you look here, he's running all those Empire ships, and that would mean that he's running he's running Vader, Empire, TIE Fighter, he's running Gauntlet, and he's running TIE Reaper, but he's trying to figure out who should he put in that first spot, and then who else should he put in as far as his bench. Anybody here run Exetrix or have an idea on that? I know Darth Bella. Who would you say he probably needs to put in with that team? So we'll do Darth Bella, and then we'll do Turbs on that.
Yeah, I think you said he uses all the TIE fighters in game, right?
Yeah, he's using all the TIE fighters.
All the Empires.
And all the Empire. Yeah, all the
First
Empire.
Order is not Empire, of course, but I would put him in definitely. He's that's a very good ship. Also, very good target log. There's some ships I think you can use with any of the enforcement. Boba Slave.
He probably needs a taunt, right?
And Umbara.
Yeah, he probably needs a. Yep. Oh, that would work too. He probably needs a taunter and potentially a couple more tanky ships. Maybe a Biggs or a Sunfac.
So I would put Umbaran in. You have the taunt first go, and then a real tanky ship. And if you call Scimitar, then you can put Retribution on Umbaran. It's quite a good combination.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with that. Turbs,
sorry.
Yes, ma'am. No, go ahead.
I try to have like 4 target lock ships in main lineup.
Yes, I would definitely agree with that. Turbs, do you have another suggestion on who to run with Exectrix?
To be honest, Bella's pretty much explained my team. I run executrix with fives in there and bigs for the taunt, and obviously the two tanky ships, and I run the three TIE fighters. So that's the TIE Advanced First Order TIE, and then the Imperial TIE. Like you say, you get your target locks up, and that gets your taunt going. And then when Biggs inevitably dies, you bring in Scimitar and stick your Retribution stealth up on your Umbarian, and it holds really well. I also have some FAC in there. And
who do you have? Who do you have in there? What did you say?
Some FAC reinforcements.
Okay, nice.
Sometimes so that you way get a bad RNG.
Yep, I would agree with that. The double taunt works well.
They've always got.
I didn't mention Biggs, but Biggs is set, of course.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Good old Maurice has a question. This is a life question, not a SWGOH question. So we're gonna if I could eat any one of the Cliff Bars, what flavor would it be? Cool dark mint, coffee buzz, or white chocolate macadamia nut? I'm going to tell you right now, I would go with the toffee buzz. Riemann is our resident eater. Let's see if he has an example, a question for this. I don't know if he's back with us or not. I don't think so. He may have had to take another phone call. Ranger, which one of the Cliff Bars would you eat?
None.
No Cliff Bars.
I don't eat that stuff.
Cliff Bars? They're like good. They're like wholesome goodness. They're like a nutritional bar.
Ranger's an athlete. He doesn't eat crap.
That's right. Listen,
I'll tell you. Yeah, he has to make sure that his fingers are in top peak performance.
That's right.
That way he could play this game.
That's right. So he's got that and just health concerns. No, I don't eat a lot of energy bars or protein bars or anything like that. My diet mainly consists of actually certain foods. And
kale, carrots.
No, actually, no. The diet for men and women is different. So there are certain foods that men want to eat as compared to what women need to eat. And I think there's, then this comes from Harvard medical studies and stuff that, for men, we need testosterone. Certain foods are the opposite of what we need. Men don't need soy. Men don't need dairy, because those are things that will inhibit your testosterone to make more estrogen in your body. So certain things like bread's out. You shouldn't be eating bread. Gluten's the same way.
So what do you eat?
Well, so for my diet, I eat a lot of in the morning. It's a lot of protein. So it's like eggs in the morning. I have a protein shake, non-soy in the day. I don't use milk. I use almond milk as part of a supplement for a meal, and then I cook my meals for the week. So like this week, it's my meatloaf week. So the meatloaf is ground beef, but it's like a certain percentage because you want a little bit of fat in there because that's actually good for men. So I make this meatloaf with mushrooms, which are really good for making testosterone, onions, garlic, other things like that. And
and I knew we hit, whenever you start talking about food, we hit on one of Ranger's big deals.
Well, it's
working out.
Well, those yeah, it's important because if you want to be healthy, you have to really understand how the body functions, right? And you have, because here's the thing, working out's important, but you work out let's say, like for me, I work out 5 days a week, 35 to 45 minutes. What do I do the rest of the time that I do more of? I eat. So 80% of how you're going to lose weight and be healthy is eating. So you have to understand what foods you're putting in. Like fast food, once a week you get a cheat because everybody deserves a cheat. But you need to get rid of.
Yeah, but you cheated last week and you ended up not being so hot, right? Then you eat like some fried chicken.
Yeah, that was like my little cheat. Yeah. So if you guys know, last Saturday I kind of disappeared. So what happened was my significant other decided that she was going to try this chicken place that had opened up near us, world famous chicken, and it was world famous, all right, because it world famously made me sick as a dog because I ate it late that night, she brought it home, and it was extremely spicy. It was good, but it was really I just don't eat grease anymore. And it was fried chicken, and I ate it, and it was good. I mean, the food was good, but that morning I was toast. I was hurting so bad. I mean, my stomach felt like someone was taking knives into it. So uh, that's why you don't eat that crap, because it will kick your ass. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
if you're really serious about your diet, then that's kind of some of the tips. And then women's diet's different. They want more, you know. Salads and other things like that. So if you just go online and look that stuff up, you can see, and it's not easy, not drinking soda, or, not eating fast food, or, eating junk. It's hard because there's so much crap in there
Yeah.
that you get addicted to it. So,
There
yeah.
is. I don't even. So, Sir Loki, which is your favorite Cliff Bar? Do you even eat Cliff Bars?
It's been a while. What were my choices? I like the cookies and cream one, man. I'm like an Oreo
You like the
guy,
okay? You like cookies and cream. I love it.
do.
You like
I do.
you like
But
the
now
cookies and
it's
cream.
been a while.
It's
I
been a
also partake in like protein shakes as well, like Ranger does. But no, I haven't eaten a Cliff Bar in a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, Darth Bella, do they even have Cliff Bars in Germany?
Well, if you go to a specialist shop, maybe, but let's say I haven't eaten chocolate for half a year now,
Holy cow!
except for Christmas and Easter.
Yeah.
And because you have to look a bit after yourself, and if you just eat all those chocolate things, it's not good. But just reading the choice, I would go for dark mint.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, Darth Bella is trying to maintain her Sith figure, and so she doesn't eat a whole. She has to keep herself in full peak performance for whenever a Jedi comes, right?
Exactly. And
That's right.
I've got this
I always wondered what
pigeon
Sith
problem
would
on
eat,
my
right?
balcony, and I
Like, what does Darth Maul eat, right? That's like the funniest. That's like the funniest question ever, right?
Eats
He
mouth
eats-
children.
He eats Padawan for breakfast.
Their delicious snack.
He eats half a Qui-Gon for lunch and the other half of Qui-Gon for dinner.
Fully just
With the fine Chianti and some lima beans. Good.
Terms, do they have Cliff Bars where you're at? Do you even know what a Cliff Bar is?
I don't, to be honest. Like Bella says, I could probably find them somewhere in a specialist shop, but I'm not aware of them. But you said the flavors, the white chocolate and nut sounds good to me.
It's like a small. Yeah, they're like a protein bar that's like made in Colorado or something, I think. So anyway, they're kind of like a roundish, kind of squarish shape. Oh man,
I think we should get back to some Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes questions before the chat.
It just goes crazy.
Yeah,
if you have some more questions, throw them in chat. And we'll definitely. I'll tell you one that I wanted. We spent a lot of time working around, which is theory crafting Thrawn. I think the two areas of theory crafting that we need to talk about is, first off, is theory crafting a team for Arena. Secondly, is theory crafting a team for the heroic Rancor raid. And then the third is theory crafting a Thrawn team for the heroic tank raid. So I'll kind of go first. The team that I think on and for Arena that works super well, and that guy is the guy actually runs him in Arena right now. It's a really cool team. He runs a Thrawn lead with General Kenobi. Then he runs Shore Trooper, Death Trooper, and Nihilus. And that team is super cool because of how it works. And I really do love it. And that's from I'm going to give this guy a big shout out. He does some videos every once in a while, but not a ton. He's also a huge dark side user. And this is God Like the Pig. From FTB Order of Theta. Super guy, been working with him on our shard for a very long time. Pacific Coast guy, and he always comes up with he does some really unique theory crafting. But that team is a Thrawn lead, GK, Shore Trooper, Death Trooper, and Darth Nihilus. And then I'll throw it off to Bella. Bella, what do you think of as an arena team for using Nihilus? What would you decide to be as your, what would you think is your favorite one?
Yeah, the one you mentioned is really good. I've got two Thrawn teams at the moment in top 10, let's say. They don't have a Thrawn lead. The one I think is really tough is Nihilus lead with Palpatine, Thrawn, Sith Assassin, and Death Trooper, because this Death Trooper is really difficult to kill, and while you're trying to kill him, the others take out your tunes.
Yes.
But the one you mentioned, you have two Tawns even. That's even a better team. I would like to use Thrawn in a mixed team, like not in a dark side team. I haven't done that yet, but that would be what I would like to test.
Right. Sir Loki, what are your thoughts on an arena team with Thrawn?
I do agree with you on that Thrawn lead. I think that team is pretty. That team is fun to not only use, but it's also fun to fight against. Thrawn's gotten a bad rep for the AI on defense, but honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I'm probably the only one that doesn't want it changed because of the way I personally use him in my team, so I don't use him as a lead. I think if he's outside the lead, the AI and defense plays him a little bit better. But that team you mentioned, where it has the double cooldown increase, and then you got the double tank, and then Thrawn can just sit there and manipulate. And when the Shore Trooper and the Death Trooper get debuffs, then they get turn meter, and Death Trooper usually has, he goes a lot in that team. So I agree with you with that Thrawn lead. I haven't seen another stronger Thrawn lead yet than that team. And there's a couple of people on my shard trying him out. Like they'll throw Fulcrum Ahsoka in there. They'll try other variants of it. But I think the one with the double tank, the double cooldown increase is pretty strong. In terms of the arena, so shout out to McMole for throwing up that video of Josh K from Team Instinct. He ran that solo team with I think it was a Thrawn lead with Director Krennic, Grand Moff Tarkin, Jin. Who was the other one in there? I forget who the fifth one was. But Shore Trooper, sorry.
Yep.
But check that team out. Check out McMole's channel. But Josh's team is just insane. He did a solo phase 3, and so personally myself, I'm also using that team in phase 3. Chirpatine, I think, got a big upgrade with Thrawn, so
Absolutely.
check out the new Chirpatine 2.0, whatever you want to call it. But then
Thrawnpantine, somebody called it Thrawnpantine.
Yeah.
Apparently some people,
Grand Admiral Chirpatine, whatever you want to call it. It works good.
That's definitely a good team. And
it's definitely good. And then the other one I'm experimenting with is because you can fracture the tank in phase 4 on the hull. So I'm working on also trying out a Thrawn team in phase 4 where you lock down the hull, and it's basically, it's almost like the same team from phase 3, right? You can almost carry that whole team over to phase 4. And
oh god, wouldn't that be sick if you could solo P3 and then solo P4 with the same damn team?
You know what? I mean, we've gotten to those times now where anything's possible. So, but the idea behind it is you lock down the hull, and then you just I don't even think you need the topple. Honestly, you just sit there and reduce the turn meter and fracture it and do what you need to do. So,
wow, yeah, that'd be sick. Turbs, what do you think about an arena team with Thrawn? And then also, what do you think about some raid teams with Thrawn?
I've not settled on a Thrawn arena team yet. Obviously, there's a few flying about, but I think one of the best ones, providing you've got the mods, is the Vader lead with Sith Assassin, Kenobi, Thrawn, and Nihilus.
Yeah.
The idea of that is if you can get your Sith Assassin super fast, you have your Nihilus slower than your Vader, and obviously your Sith Assassin goes first, fills the turn meter up with Vader and Nihilus, then your Vader throws his dots down, and then your Nihilus obviously uses his force drain and gets loads of boost from that. It's a pretty effective team.
Nice.
And obviously the only sometimes RNG bit of it is obviously Vader and Nihilus get 100% turn meter at the same time, so sometimes Nihilus goes first, but it's still not a big deal because he still reduces the cooldowns. It's a good squad. It is a good squad. Another one was Tarkin lead, which is pretty good. Again, that's if you've not necessarily got the mods, that's a good option because obviously Tarkin's boosting all your speed.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So you've got Tarkin, Thrawn, Taunter, then Death Trooper, and Nihilus or Krennic. You could use Krennic, but he's a bit squishy for arena, really.
Yeah, just got
even
Krennic,
with the crit.
Just got Krennic to 7-star today. Actually, it was super cool to get Director Krennic to 7-star. So
I've been working on Krennic. I've got his gear up, but I'm very low on.
I got his star. I have his stars up, but not his gear. So I'm the exact opposite. I tend to star characters to 7 before I start gearing them. We have another. If anyone doesn't have anything else on Thrawn, we have another question here from Enrique B. He says, "I run the Triple Cleanse Nihilus team. How do I mod them, and what's the turn order?" So I run this exact team. So I'm in arena. So I'll kind of tell you what I think. The first couple of things is General Kenobi and Baze need to be tanky as heck. So I run protection and with health secondaries on for the triangle, the cross, and the circle, and then I run a protection I run a protection arrow even on GK because GK is going to be taking all the hits. I feel like that the really weak one in this team is Rex. Rex is really squishy when he comes out the gate, so Rex needs some help with all of that protection and potentially you just want to make them incredibly durable. I also run a really, really slow Chirrut. Everybody thinks that's crazy that I run a slow Chirrut. I think my Chirrut is +7 speed. The only one on that team that's super fast is Nihilus. Because effectively what you're trying to do with that team is you're trying to clear dots and you're trying to protect Nihilus, and then you're just wanting Nihilus to go and annihilate at least twice throughout the match. So my Nihilus annihilates twice. So he's super fast. The idea with this team is that you want to keep dispelling and then annihilate their Nihilus and then annihilate either Chirrut or Baze, and you can kill everyone else and the match is done. And potentially annihilate R2 if you have the opportunity. But that's pretty much on that team. You don't need a lot of good speed mods because you're running Rex lead. So that means if they're critting, you're doing fine. The only problem that team would have is that team will have a problem with a Nihilus lead, because under Nihilus leads they don't crit, so you don't get the turn meter boost from the crits. And so the thought there is that my Nihilus will always be faster than their Nihilus. So that means that I'm still doing the cooldowns. And because I'm still doing the cooldowns, I should be okay. But it's very RNG dependent against a Nihilus lead. Anyone else have any thoughts for Enrique B on his Triple Cleanse Annihilate team?
I think
you said it all pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
it's kind of hard to time it, though. I mean, I get what everybody's trying to do, but I mean, once the other team does something, they're going to gain turn meter off the bat. So it's hard to
And my turn meter will go to crap too, because if they do an AoE and it crits some and doesn't crit others, then all of a sudden my turn meter goes crazy because of Rex. So that could be a little bit of a problem too with turn order on that.
Yeah, you can't really dictate a turn order. Like you say, it's just it goes how it goes. It's pointless even trying to set one, really.
it's not like a droid team or a Sith team where you can set the turn meter. You can do that with a Darth Maul team, or you could do the turn order stuff, and that works out great. But let's see. Vestara Kahi asked a question. I probably totally butchered that name, so I'm sorry if I butchered your name. He says, "Guys, a guy from my shard is running Rex, Lead, Thrawn, GK, Nihilus, and R2 double Zeta, and has held overnight where I was third, and now I sit 16th. So definitely, Thrawn in a Rex-led team can work really well. Totally agree. That's probably just a different puzzle team. The reason why that team works is because it's a different. Whenever you throw Thrawn in that team, it's a different puzzle. Anybody else have any thoughts on that team? Rex, Lead, Thrawn, GK, Nihilus, and a double R2 Zeta. Sir Loki, what do you think about that team?
I think it's great. I mean, anytime you can take Thrawn out of if you can make Thrawn kind of be that, he's not the main focus and he kind of just comes out of nowhere and does his thing. I think that's the best way to run him in an arena team.
Mm-hmm.
With the Rex Lead, then he's also gaining turn meter. He's. I don't see. I mean, he can do his fracture right away. If it ever goes off on defense. But then at the same time, he could be losing the fracture. The ability, right? Because it goes away after his next turn comes about. So, other than that, it sounds like a really tricky team to fight, especially because you got R2D2. He's going to do the stealth and it's it can work. I mean, it sounds like a really good team. I might try it myself and see how it does. But yeah, Thrawn outside of the whole, if he's not the main focus of the team, I think he does really well.
Okay, so we have another question, which I think is interesting. This is a question that's from Princess and Sassy. And I would like to know how you organize the heroic AAT raids. We have a lot of discussions in our guild on how to make it as fair as possible. I want to give this one to Ranger first. Ranger, how do you think that you should organize a heroic AAT raid to make it fair? What are some of your thoughts on that?
Well, okay, so for heroic AAT, it depends on where your guild's at. Who are your heavy hitters and who are not? Because you still have to clear the raid, right? I'm just going to do the assumption that everybody's, I can only speak from a perspective of being on the back end of the people that have it on farm, right? We have we start the raid ahead of time. We have a period where you can pose 0 damage, and then at a certain time we just free for all. And everybody just goes in, and about 10-15 minutes later it's dead, whether it's heroic rank or heroic AAT. Now that works best for us because everybody's got all these max tunes and can clear it. It's not a big deal, right? I think it gets a little bit more trickier for a newer guild that's going on, that's trying to farm it, right? Yeah, you want to be fair, but then you have to clear it. So you have to take into consideration who has Xylo, who has certain characters, and which people have, the characters for each phase. Because you want to clear so everybody gets rewards. I think, having a period where people can pose 0 damage, because sometimes schedules conflict and everything like that, where they may not be able to be in there, is understandable. I think communication is important. If you're a newer guild and you're trying to do it, say you don't break the phases down. Phase 1 is during this time period. Phase 2 is during this time period. Phase 3 is during this time period. Phase 4 is during this time period. And then take it from there. If you clear it early, maybe you say, okay, hey guys, we clear this immediately. Now let's be open to being able to be flexible, where you go into phase 2. But if you are clear, you can just be patient. Say, all right, we cleared phase 1. Let's go into phase 2. Starts in 2 hours. Like you had it in your schedule. I think scheduling times is really fair, so everybody gets an opportunity. It just depends on what level of the players you have in your guild and what you're able to accomplish, who can do what, who has the teams and who doesn't. Again, clearing is the most important. People will get
Agreed.
rewards, so it just depends on the level of the players you have. So it's pretty broad in that question, but I think some of the points that I made, I think will help you in the long run.
Yeah, Bella, what do you think about about how to run a heroic AAT and try to make it as fair as possible?
I think Ranger mentioned the most important thing, and that is communication. That all are in and know what to do when, and you have different ways to organize the HAT, and it's totally different, as Ranger also said, if you can clear it easily or if it's some of the first trials.
Yes.
And I found that to break down the different phases into like 6 or more hours is really a good thing, like 6 to 12 hours. So everyone has a chance to run his team. I also saw that some said, well, we use Jedi later on. Let's let the Kylos do clear the phase 1, because when they were trying like first time to clear.
Yes.
So it depends on your guild.
I agree. Turbs, what are your thoughts on how to organize a heroic AAT raid and how to make it fair?
The bottom line is what Ranger and Bell have said is you need to be able to clear it, first of all. Otherwise, if you can't clear it, if you struggle to clear it in 48 hours, then the plans kind of go out the window. But if you're all kind of capable, what we always did, or what we do, should I say, is we have phase 1 and phase 2 the first night when we open it, and then we pause for a day. So that ends up being like the 24-hour period where people who aren't bothered or can post 0 damage, and then we do phase 3 and 4 24 hours later, which I think is fair. The other addition that we do, which was always fair, because obviously some people get GK and finish high before others, we always said is if you have a 7-star GK, then you're only allowed 1 attack per phase, whereas if you've not got GK, then you can do a free-for-all, unload your squad, so you've got a chance of finishing higher than the
Interesting
than the guys who've already got GK. So that's the fair way that we invented, and it still works well to this day.
There you go. Sir Loki, what do you think about organizing heroic AT raids and how to make it fair?
I agree with the panel. I mean, just it's to the point, like in our guilds, that everybody has like 7-star GK already. So priority would be if we could help the others kind of move up. So me personally, I stay out of the top 3, so the other ones that need 7-star GK can get the most shards. Other than that, it's communication. So unfortunately, we have to use an external chat app, like Line or Discord or something like that to organize everything. But I think communication's key. I agree with Bella on that. And then and then just have a set schedule. And then if you do have to impose like penalties, then you got to do it, right? I mean, if somebody goes Maverick and solos P3 without telling anybody, then that's an issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the number one thing is communication, and then it's just rotating the prizes like that. If some people are going for 7-star GK, then we and they can do damage, then obviously we let them do take the top 3. So
nice.
I got nothing else to add. I think everything else was said. So
yeah, I would totally agree with the panel. I think it's communication is a huge part of it. I would also say that it's okay for you to have a certain set of rules in the beginning whenever you're first starting to clear it, and then to have a second set of rules, or have your rules kind of modify and change as you go along. And so in the beginning you're just trying to clear, and so you're trying to maximize damage, and then later on you're probably looking for a 0 period just to make sure that everybody can get their rewards. And then after everybody's got 7-star GK, it's just go full ham. And that's okay to have it kind of start one way and then kind of morph into something else later. And that's where the guild needs to be kind of flexible so that you don't end up, oh, well, we've always done it this way. Well, I get it. You did it that way for a month. Now things have changed a little bit. I do want to give kudos to CG for not making the rewards super spread out. I mean, one of the challenges with the Rancor raid is that if you scored in the bottom, I think you got 1 Han Solo shard. Now, if you score rank 50th in the heroic AAT, you still get 6 General Kenobi shards, which is super cool. That means that the guild is not kind of fighting against each other for who gets that last spot. I really like that. But as far as fair, there's also some people who would say, hey, bigger rosters get the higher scores. And sometimes that is fair. You put more time, energy, and effort into it, you get a higher spot. And that's okay. So you guys just probably need to keep communicating, keep discussing, and then come out with what works for you guys. What works for one guild may not work for another guild, and that's okay. That's kind of where I see it. Let's see here. So here's a question from Bobby Roundtree. I just Zeted Finn and R2 and running resistance against the take. Not seeing any good production. Not seeing good production. What am I doing wrong here? So he's probably running this resistance team in P2 of the heroic tank with a Zeted Finn and a Zeted R2. Sir Loki, I know that you run this team for sure, or you have run this team in the past. What are you thinking would be the tips that you would want to give Bobby Roundtree?
If he's running phase 2 of the tank, of heroic tank with a resistance squad, I would definitely swap out. You mentioned R2D2. I would definitely swap out R2 and run Rey in that spot. And then Rey, I like to mod her a lot of crit damage, some critical chance. So like a crit damage set, and then critical damage triangle, and then if you're lucky enough to have all the critical chance secondaries, that would be awesome. I don't think you need a lot of speed on her because the resistance are going to gain a lot of turn meter anyway from all the expose. And then the rest of the team, I have mine pre-modded already, so it's I just have a lot of potency on everybody because you want the expose to land. I think that's called good RNG with that team. Is you got to have Poe's he's got to do his AOE expose, right off the bat, and you got to have expose on all the turrets and the hull itself, and then you do a lot of basic with the resistance trooper because then he's going to reapply the expose, and then Finn he's got his special that does the expose, and then resistance pilot's going to have her special with the expose. So and then you kind of just juggle that the whole time, and then hopefully by the time it's post turn again, he will do his taunt again, and then AoE expose, and then you can start stacking them, and at that point you'll experience like a big loop, and that's, to me, that's good RNG if you can get all the exposes to land, and then you take them away and all your turn meter goes up, and then all your cooldowns are reset.
Nice.
So I would just work on that, and if you're not getting that off the bat, then quit the battle and then re-enter and then try it again. And but I would, if you're gonna run them in phase 4, then I would run R2D2, but I wouldn't run R2D2 in phase 2.
Nice. Turb, do you have anything to add for that for his team? For running resistance and P2 of the tank?
No, I agree with Loki. R2 shouldn't be in there. And you just treat it a bit like the Rancor, except it's the opposite. Rather than managing the Rancor's turn meter, you're just managing your team's turn meter again by getting the exposes and doing your abilities at the right time.
Okay.
Like I said, they look after themselves when you get it right, but no, he's pretty much hit the nail on the head.
So, Cycron X99 has a question. Hey guys, does anybody know when they will fix it when the ships and normal arena search button? I don't really know what he's talking about here. Does anybody, for example, he added a follow-up to this. For example, sometimes if you're able to climb up 6 places, you can press the refresh button about 30 times and you will get a contender 6 places in front of you. Oh, I understand. The refresh button on trying to find your opponents. So there is a list on Reddit which shows you how many places ahead you can get. Like, for example, from 13th place, you can hit 8th. And from 12th place, you can still only hit 8th. You can't hit 7th. There's a so there you can jump only certain spots based on how you are. And sometimes you can see 5 places in front of you, and sometimes you could see 4 places in front of you, and sometimes you could see 6 places in front of you. That's pretty much been set from the beginning. So I think that's working as intended. Does anybody else have any information on that particular feature with the refresh button?
I kind of know what he means. It doesn't happen too much in the top 10 because you can only see 4 places, and it's pretty much always 3 in front of you, isn't it? When you're a little bit higher, I know where you can climb 5 or 6 places.
Yes.
I know which means it'll show 5 in front of you, and you'll press refresh, and it'll still show 5 in front of you. And sometimes you can be pressing the refresh button 10, 15 times before you actually see that 6th place in front of you. I know it means it can get quite annoying and tedious, but I think it's just one of those things. It refreshes, and it's whether it's RNG, I don't know. I don't know how to fix it, but I have had that before. It is quite annoying.
Yeah,
I know what he means. It's when you press. He's trying to loop the furthest in front, and it doesn't always show it. So you press refresh, and you press refresh, and you press refresh.
Right.
It is annoying. It's quite as well. It sometimes takes about 5 seconds for each button press, but
it can.
Open up a ticket in the forums and point it out. I'm sure it'll get fixed straight away.
Probably not. I know there are a lot of things those devs are working on, or at least we hope they're working on. Where we have there's a lot of potential bugs, and then there's a lot of bugs that they've said are bugs and that they're going to work on. But also too, we look at we've looked at as well the fact that we probably would like to see some new content. So I guess they have limited resources, just like everyone else has limited resources. And I would say that's probably true for programming as well. I think there's also some potential to hear that if they fix something, they will accidentally break something. And I would hate for them to accidentally break something in the process of trying to fix something. If you guys have any more questions, by all means, go ahead and hit them up. I think we've located all of we've answered all of the questions. If I missed one of your questions, let me know, because I definitely don't want to miss a question. So if I accidentally missed you, hit me up and let me know at Grande Patron in the chat here, and type question in the beginning of your question, and I will try to work really hard to make sure that we get it answered. Enrique says the devs are probably playing Battlefront 2 beta, which is why they're so busy that they can't fix this game. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was definitely funny. How about any of you guys? Any of you guys had any questions that have come through your guilds that you've had trouble answering? Turbs, I know I don't get into a lot of the BHG chats. What kind of questions are you having in BHG that people are asking?
Most of the talk at the minute is who's the best Thrawn team, to be honest.
Right.
But it's kind of split. That's all you seem to. That's a lot of the talk. Again, we're quite a big guild. Most of the questions kind of get knocked out of the park with some of the veteran players that we've got there, like Mace Windu and everybody. Nothing's springing to mind.
Yep. The Tor asked the question, and I'll throw this out to Ranger. He says, question, when will we start What a Whale Wants? So What a Whale Wants is a segment I think that we're going to have on Wednesdays. But Ranger, you want to tell him how the Tor can get into the queue for What a Whale Wants?
Yeah, we haphazardly had made that little statement and everybody jumped on it. So we're actually looking to start that. Finn, email or go to Discord and send Finn a message. He's creating the list. He usually does all that stuff. So if you'd like to be on the show as a guest on What a Well Wants, I'm not sure how Finn's going to run it right now, but we're looking to add that to the show, and he will get back with you. And once we finalize stuff, we'll have a list and we'll have people come on. So your best bet is to get with Dr. Finn Medicine Woman. He can set that up for you.
All right. So then Saber Shark had a question. In place of Power and Nihilus is carrying his Annihilate from encounter to encounter, i.e., I don't use it in round 3, but it was ready, and it still isn't ready in round 8. Is this working as intended? Okay. Cyber Shark, you're talking about Galactic War. In Galactic War, the devs have said that Nihilus's Annihilate resets on every battle. And this is true for basically whenever Nihilus is working in any kind of multi-encounter. So Nihilus's cooldowns on his Annihilate get refreshed every time you move into a new phase. Yes, that is working how intended. It's they don't want you to be able to like preload Annihilate so that you can use. So you need, if you have Annihilate ready, you need to use it in whatever round you're in, or it will not work in the next round. And the devs have mentioned that multiple times that they felt like that would be too overpowered, because then you could potentially preload Nihilus in like a low round, like round 1, 2, or 3, and then have it ready for node 8 or 9 or 11 to just go ahead and annihilate someone right off the bat. So that's definitely that's definitely how it's supposed to work in Galactic War for sure. And that's the reason why they wanted it to be that way.
He's talking about the event.
And I think it's that way in the event too. You can't preload it. I've never seen it work like that.
Actually, I did this today. The event that's on today, you know, where it's 8 rounds, 8 encounters.
Oh,
he carries through.
He's talking about the Places of Power event, not about Galactic War. So is it working different in Places of Power?
Yeah, you can front load it.
3 and it was ready in round 4. I was a bit
interesting.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
They probably. That's really weird. That I don't know. That may not be working as intended. That makes Nihilus way overpowered for that event, doesn't it?
Well, you have to gear him up and everything, but I think it helps because that Yoda at the end there makes it it makes a big difference.
Sorry.
How come our Yoda can't be like that?
I know.
Dude,
it's awesome.
My Yoda should be sick like that, bro. I'd love it if it was like that. Oh my gosh. So Martin Waterman asked a question, which is, how should I mod Princess Zodi? Sir Loki, I know you run a Princess Zodi team. I think Turbs does as well. I have a very junk Princess Zodi team, so I'm not going to answer this question because I will probably give the wrong answer. But how do you think you should mod Princess Zodi, Sir Loki?
Okay, so make Cody as fast as you can get him.
Yep.
And optimally, you can get him like 220, 230. That would be ideal for speed. So speed only on Cody. If you're lucky enough to have some critical chance secondaries somewhere on those speed mods, or the critical chance triangle with speed secondary, that's the way to go with him. And then Clone Sergeant, I like to run just lots of offense and critical damage, because you're going to get critical chance buff from Leia anyway, and then he's going to buff himself. Not sure if it's working as intended yet. I know the devs have always, they said they made adjustments to critical chance and how it stacks and all that, but I think the jury's still out, because sometimes my Clone Sergeant doesn't crit even with all that critical chance. So, but again, it's only worth it to really put a lot of offense and all that on him. And then, so Princess Leia, there's certain ways you can mod her. The issue with her is she's really squishy. But the good news about her is her basic, whenever she does damage, she can regain health, right? There's like a percentage of health of some sort. So I like to put a lot of health on mine. So like health, secondaries. So if you can bump her to like 18,000 health or 17,000, would be really helpful. And then I put a lot of offense on her, so I don't make her fast at all. I actually put an offense arrow and then offense cross and some critical damage, so she can do enough damage to regain health in between the in P4. And then fives and Echo. For me, I just like to do critical chance on them. Echo's going to get a lot of assists already, so he's going to take a lot of turns, and you just want him to crit every single time. So the goal is, you want everybody to crit, so the 212 attack will reset. So that's the way I do it. How do you do it, Turbs?
Very similar, to be honest. Get your Cody as fast as you can, and stack as much offense and crit on the other guys. The other thing that's key is you need to time Leia's stealth as well. I always time it for just before the airstrike comes, because then she never gets hit by the turrets afterwards, which does make her a lot more survivable. But again, that's a good little tidbit about bumping up her health pool, because like I said, if she dies, you might as well retreat. But yeah, that's the strategy.
I think that sounds good. Anybody else have anything to add on Princess Zodi? Okay. Next question. I want to send this one to Bella first. Bella, what are the 5 most important Zetas?
5 most important.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking the one who's hoarding
Who's hoarding
like
Zetas,
mad.
right? Yeah. How many Zetas do you have right now? You could probably Zeta 4 people, right? So you have like 80 Zetas?
No, I've got over 100.
Over 100. She could Zeta 5 people right now. Okay, so if you were gonna blow your whole horde, what would you blow? Who would you blow your whole horde on?
How many Omegas do you have? Because I got Omega shortage myself, but.
Oh yeah, I have a wicked Omega shortage.
I spent them all on the Thrawn event on the Phoenix team. So
yeah, on the Phoenix team.
That really killed me. So yeah, who would I say that? For me, R2D2 was really the one to Zeta, because he's really flexible and can go anywhere. No, maybe not anywhere, but
a lot of places for sure.
A lot of places and raids and arena. So it's really a great character.
Now, did you do both of them? You did number crunch and the other one? I can't remember the other one's name at the minute.
I did number crunch at first, but my arena got more tough, so I actually had to do the second one. And I must say I was really impressed, because it really helped a lot. And I could win fights I couldn't win before. So if you really use him in arena, I think it would be cool to have his other ability, combat
analytics. That's the one. Analytics. That's the one where we did the dispel on dispel.
Yeah, all allies gain 10% crit chance and accuracy, and so that is a great one as well. But number crunch, of course, is more important. So this was number 1 and number 2.
Right.
I think that actually the dark side Zetas are really important if you play dark side, and if you want to use Vader for raids, for example, that's a really important Zeta, and I'm still thinking if I should or not, if I should continue hoarding for the next project, or if I should do him. And that was 3. Well, I'm not sure who's next.
That's okay. Those are 3 really good ones. And I would definitely agree with you on those 3. Turbs, what do you think? 5 best Zetas in the game.
5 best Zetas in the game. R2 is definitely such a versatile character. You've got to do at least his number crunch, if you ask me.
Yep.
Because just from the stat increase. It depends on your roster and who your leader is, because you have, whichever you're running in the arena, whichever is your main leader, you have to Zeta that, providing he's a Zeta lead.
Mm-hmm.
Nihilus unique, that's a must, if you ask me.
Right.
and get him rocking. Who else have I done? It depends if you're focusing on arena. Again, I've done Zordi, because again the damage increase up from him is amazing.
That's 4.
It was the last one I heard. I would have said Zol, but he's gone out the meta now.
I would agree. Yeah, Zol's kind of out at the moment.
Have you done, to be honest, up and coming, I think you've got a Zeta Thrawn.
I could see Zeta Thrawn.
I think he's got to be in the top 5 now.
Yeah.
He's going to be usable in the arena, and obviously he's so good in the raids as well, if not more so than the arena.
Sir Loki, 5 best Zetas in the game. What do you think, Sir Loki?
So, I'm still a big fan of Zader, especially with him now coming back with Thrawn. I really think his lead is just, there's so many uses for his lead everywhere.
Right.
He's a pilot. I mean, his ship gets a buff from the Zeta, so definitely looking at that. I mean, I think that's probably the best Zeta in the game now. Again, I mean, Thrawn just made it that much better, I think. Nobody said Kylo Ren, so I'll throw that out there. He's kind of just
agreed.
I mean, I don't use Kylo Ren anymore, and it's just because I got, I'm using other tunes, but he's going to be a staple if you're going to be climbing arena. I mean, it's been said he can go 1 versus 4 if you spam his Zeta ability. So I would definitely do that if you need to climb arena and you want to do it on the cheap, because it's a very good first Zeta, and he can throw him in any team. And then obviously they haven't done anything with Phase 1, so keep using them in Phase 1 if you need to. That's of the tank. That's
right.
That's very helpful for you and the whole guild. Your whole guild can save their roster for the rest of the tank, which is that's very valuable. Then the third Zeta, I would say Finn, because then you can get the whole resistance squad. I mean, that one Zeta can get the whole squad going, right? It's kind of like Cody as well with the clones, but I think the resistance are easier to gear up than clones and easier to farm. So I would put Finn in there, and hopefully with the movie coming out this Christmas, the resistance might get more characters or might get a buff. Who knows? So that's 3, and then I agree with Darth Nihilus. I think his unique is still very good, very arena viable, and also with the heroic tank. And then maybe my number 5 again. I agree with Turbs. I think Thrawn's gonna make a, as more people get Thrawn, I think he's gonna show up in the meta report more, and more people are gonna start using him and figuring stuff out. But his unique alone allows you to really conquer Phase 3 of the heroic tank. I mean, I can't stress that enough. And any kind of Zeta like that where it's going to make the tank easier, I say go for it. So that would be my top 5.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Ranger, top 5 Zetas.
I'm going to go with Jawa Engineer.
Nice.
And then I'm going to go with Tusken Shaman.
Great.
And then I'm going to go with Conan the Barbarian from the first movie, not the Destroyer movie, because I don't think his Zeta works in that film. Then I'm going to go Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and then I'm going to select Pudding.
Sweet.
You forgot Bruce Lee.
Obviously. Okay. Best Zetas in the game for me. Double Zeta R2. Zeta Vader. Zeta Kylo Ren. And then I'm going to have to go with Thrawn again as well for his unique. Definitely, if I was going to say,
did anybody mention Maul? I don't remember hearing his name.
Nobody mentioned Maul. I mean, I have Zeta Maul.
Yeah, I did too.
No, Turbs mentioned him.
Did he?
Turbs mentioned it.
Yeah.
He did. He mentioned it. It's a decent Zeta, but it's really hard. The problem with that Zeta is that
it's character dependent. You need other Sith, and you need Sith assassin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, but he got a
Absolutely.
nerf too, right? I mean, that's the issue with it. I think that's why a lot of people pulled back on it too. He wasn't gaining a lot of health anymore, and maybe daze wasn't getting applied as easily anymore.
Yep.
There was some adjustments made. I mean, just going back to Zader. I mean, look at all the nerfing they did to Zader. It's still good. That's how good it is. I can't.
Yeah.
It's funny to think about, but they nerfed Zader for like a year straight, and they still can't get it right. It's still good. So, but Maul. I mean, I never Zated Maul, but I mean, the people that did. I mean, I don't see him in arena anymore. Honestly,
Not a whole bunch anymore. We have a question here from Evergoo. His question, he says, just ran Zeta, Qui-Gon, Jinn, GK, Ezra, Jedi Knight Anakin, and double Zeta R2 in GW. Is there a reason why R2 gains foresight? It happened at least twice during the 12 nodes. So, no,
Somebody's
he could
doing
be gaining.
dishes. What the hell's going on?
He's gaining.
Is Lampshade here?
No, I think it's Bella. Bella's probably doing.
I think Bella's shooting the pigeons with her.
No,
with
she's
her,
washing. She's doing the
with
dishes.
her blaster. She has a Star Wars water.
She had to rinse out her coffee mug and get some more coffee.
I was getting ice cubes.
Oh,
so Zeta. So Vader. I mean, excuse me. R2 is getting foresight from GK. That's what's happening there. Without a doubt, that's what's happening there. So the next question is from 5Man. 5Man says, question, would Ezra work well in a rebel team for P4? Probably. Ezra does a call and assist, which is pretty sick good. If you ran a rebel team that was
Wedge.
If you ran a rebel team that was like Wedge with Ezra, and you ran Wedge, Biggs, Ezra, Lando, Lando potentially, and you could potentially run somebody like Stormtrooper Han, or you could run Leia. You could run a lot of people in that last.
Yeah, it's gonna do some damage.
It would definitely work. Anybody else see any reason why Ezra would not work well in a rebel team P4?
No, should be okay. There's enough damage. He's got a reasonable amount of speed. Like you mod him, going to do as much. He's going to be an alternative or a good DPS, just like Chivit is. No, he's
agreed. So I think that team could do very well. Let's see. We got a lot of smiley faces in chat. A lot of smiley faces. More smiley faces.
What?
Apparently they're all. That's what we're getting.
Smiley faces. And Turbs put sad faces in. How dare you, sir? How dare you kill the vibe?
Okay. Also, the only challenge for me in arena is GK lead, Nihilus, Zeta Barris, and Chirrut and Baze. Isn't Jedi Knight Anakin required because Zeta Barris is uber annoying?
No.
That's the question. I do not think that's required.
No.
Well, I mean, Jedi Knight Anakin has the healing immunity, so I would say yes. I mean, he's good.
But the team as it's put together is pretty damn. It's annoying. I mean, you could run Jedi.
He's talking about trying to fight that team. In other words, if he was trying to fight that team, would he have to run Jedi Knight Anakin? And I don't think so. I think
you could run Xylo. You could run B2. You could run.
You could run Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Boba Fett would be a good one for because Boba Fett can get around taunt, and if you got around taunt and you were able to annihilate Chirrut, that could work well. You could potentially run a Sith team against it, like a Zeta Maul against that team. There's a lot of ways, Evergoo, to beat that team. They kill. Basically, you're trying to knock off one or two, so that way you can get to Barris. I don't think Barris is your number one threat in that team. You just need to bring a lot of DPS. And if you bring a lot of DPS, you could also bring potentially Nihilus to that battle. And if you can survive long enough, then you can annihilate one or two potentially before their nihilist goes off.
Yeah, there's lots of combinations that can beat that team. You're not just stuck with Jedi Knight
Yep.
Anakin. I mean, Jedi Knight Anakin would be further on the list of the other tunes that were mentioned that would easily help you defeat that team.
Chrome Cobra asked a question. This is definitely a Sir Loki question. Best Zeta Vader team for Arena. I think you've said it 2 or 3 times already, but let's go ahead and get Sir Loki to say it again. The best Zeta Vader team for Arena.
So right now for me. I mean, we've Turbs and I are in a chat room where we talk to other whaley players, I guess, if you want to call it that. But we're all running arena tests, and as of right now, the best one, especially with the introduction of Thrawn, so it's going to be a Zeta Darth Vader lead with Grand Admiral Thrawn and Sith Assassin, Nihilus, and General Kenobi. That's been the ticket right now. I'm not saying it's unbeatable, but what we're gathering from other Shardmates is the other team is going to use probably 1 or 2 battles to take you out. And, as it was before Thrawn was released, I think a lot of the other teams could just auto other teams, and you just need 1 battle to climb. Whereas this team seems to do pretty it does surprising things on the defense. So it's not a team that somebody wants to face. If you got other Rex leads or Wedge leads or something like that, I've been told that, they skip my team and they go fight them. So it's, I'm not saying it's the best team on defense, but it's definitely a team where people are going to avoid fighting you. So you're going to stay your rank in Arena.
Okay. Next to the last question is from our boy, Mike Hunt. Mike Hunt asks.
Well, wait a minute. Why is Mike not in the
Isn't he supposed to be in here?
He said he had family.
Oh, the whole family thing. Yeah, that old chestnut.
So here's his question. He says 1 Omega into Thrawn's basic, Fracture, or Grand Admiral Command. Unique is Zated. So his question is, he's got Manipulate from Grand Admiral Thrawn Omega. He says he has he has Fracture, or should he do Fracture, or should he do Grand Admiral Command? He says the unique is already Zated. So this question is basically, do you Omega Fracture, or do you Omega Grand Admiral Command? The difference between these two the difference is that it adds 15% damage to Fracture and removes 1 cooldown to Fracture for that Omega. The Grand Admiral Command Omega gives plus 5% protection recovery and moves Grand Admiral Command to -1 cooldown. So it's basically the -1 cooldown is on both of them, and is 5% protection recovery more important, or is 15% damage more important on Fracture? Darth Bella, which one do you think you should do? He's already done he's already done the basic.
Can you again, because I
so the question here is, should he Omega Fracture first, or should he Omega Grand Admiral's Command?
Yes, I got your question. I was just not sure if I'm muted or not.
No, I hear you.
Okay.
She's too busy doing dishes.
Yeah. I probably would go for Fracture, especially if I want to try him in raids, because Fracture has this raid description also, and I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't have an influence on the damage. Maybe, I don't know. Speed and counter chance for raids.
So I'm with you on the Fracture thing. Turbs, which one, Fracture or Grand Admiral's Command?
They're both good, to be honest, but if you have to pick one first, it's got to be Fracture. It's his main ability, isn't it? It's his main ability. You can wait 5 days and then do the next one, can't you? But Fracture first. All of them two.
Fracture first. Sir Loki, Fracture or Grand Admiral Command?
So Grand Admiral Command, that's the turn meter swap one, right?
That's the turn meter swap one with a 5%. So it's -1 cooldown, and then you and then you also add more protection to that one. It looks like it adds 5% protection. So I guess the question is 15% damage or 5% protection. Which one's more important?
So I am going to be the oddball. I'm going to say to do the turn meter swap one first, because in arena it seems like Thrawn does the turn meter swap before he does the fracture sometimes on defense. So I would do that one first.
Okay, Ranger, what's your thought on this one?
I think Loki's a stupid poo-poo head. It's fracture. What's wrong with you, fool?
I think it's fracture all the way.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Alrighty. So that was the next to the last question, and now we are into the last question. So here it is.
Dun,
dun, dun. Right. So this is from Martin Waterman. Asked the question: Sir Loki, what if you don't have GK? Who would you use then for that Zeta Vader team for arena?
You can do Shore Trooper, any tank. I mean, you're just going to replace a taunting tank with another, but definitely somebody that can, like an auto taunter of some sort, or if you got Sith Trooper that can proc his taunt pretty easily. I would go with any of those, or whatever taunting tank you got. I mean, you can throw Baze in there if you want to try it out, but I'm liking Shore Trooper again. He's gonna do his I think he gives 15% turn meter or something when an Empire ally does a special. So
right.
He does have synergy with Thrawn and Darth Vader, but any taunting tank will work.
Okay. So that is all the questions, Ranger. I think it's time to do our thing at the end.
That's right. It's time to pimp your stuff. Brought to you by Wells Fargo. Who do you want to start?
Well, I want to know is why has Grande Patron Tequila not been a big sponsor here recently?
Because they don't bring as much money in as Wells Fargo. Hello, it's about the moolah.
Holy, I forgot it was about the moolah. Yeah. It's about the dinero.
You've been pimping Wells Fargo more than you've been pimping your own tequila, so that's your own fault, fool.
I know it. I'm gonna have to get with the owner of Grande Patron Tequila.
I mean, we just got the Diaperoos in line, so I mean, we've had.
That's right.
So I mean,
that's right. So the next segment will be brought to you by Diaperoos.
Yeah.
Ranger diaper of choice for baby Ranger.
That's right, baby Ranger.
Okay,
ass.
I got it.
All right, so let's go around and pimp. Let everybody pimp their stuff. First of all, Reman wasn't here, so if you guys want to check him out, they run their weekly stream, usually Fridays or Saturdays on
the Alliance on Reman's channel.
Yeah, so you can check out that stream. Let's see, Loki, pimp your stuff, man.
I got a YouTube channel. It's Sir Loki, SIRLOKI. So I just do the SWGOH, the arena battles, and I got some raid videos up. And always thank you for having me on.
And what else is on there that everybody should be checking out?
I forgot. Yeah, I got if you're interested in lightsaber hobby or building, check it out. I got some videos of one I did was I built Finn one. We all chipped in and gave Finn a birthday present. So you can see the build on my channel of what's Finn playing with right now, because he's not on the stream like he's supposed to be. So yeah. I'm sure he's playing with his new toy. But thank you for having me on, and appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Turbs, our special guest, we want to thank you for coming on. Where can people check you out, my friend?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Been great to hang out with you guys and help out the community by answering questions and sharing knowledge. I have nowhere near as big as the other guys, but I've got a YouTube channel. It's just Turbs. You can see me. I'll posting a lot of raid videos at the minute and some arena, and I'll try and do some ships. But yeah, check me out on YouTube. I'm also on Line and Discord with the same name. If anybody wants to ask any questions, I'm always eager to help. But yeah,
awesome.
Check me out.
Very nice. Darth Bella, where can people check you out?
Yeah, I've got my own YouTube channel now. Mm-hmm. It's called Darth Bella. Yay. So you just go there and watch what I did And if you like it, like it.
That's right. And if you don't like it, she will force choke your monkey ass.
Yeah, that's for
I
sure.
mean, she is not she's not just a pretty face. She's the Dark Lady of the Sith. She will rip
That's
rip
right.
you up. I mean, I wouldn't want to make her angry. Gandhi, do you want to make her angry? I don't want to get force choked. I mean,
No,
Jesus.
sir. I don't ever want to make Darth Bella angry.
I
That's for
know.
sure.
I mean, ew, can take our humanity, just force spirit drain us or something.
That's right.
And then for us, this is of course RSG. You can check us out every Wednesdays and Saturday. Wednesdays is our normal stream where we talk about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, all the latest news, notes, and things that are happening in the world of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Of course, today we run the Jedi Academy. We also have other videos up. We've been doing some Ross reviews. We've got lots of other videos out on the different phases of the Heroic AAT that could help you out, especially if you're near guild and you're looking for Heroic AAT. We'll probably have to update those soon. Those were done a few months back, but we will get those updated. But we've got a lot of stuff coming on the channel. So if you like what you see, of course, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. That helps the channel out tremendously. And if you subscribe, then you get to know when all this great content is coming out on this channel.
Make sure you hit that little bell button that lets you that gives you an alert whenever we go live.
Yeah,
I think that's
nice.
super important. I know. Just make sure you hit that little alert button,
That's
the
right.
little bell, so that way you'll get a push notification on your phone or on your computer that lets you know, hey, RSG Reality Skewed Gamers is live right now. That way you're not late to the stream.
That's right. Like some people, we're not going to mention any names.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no.
saying,
We
yeah,
won't
yeah,
mention.
we're not gonna mention any names. But if you like what you see too, you can check us out on Facebook. We have our own. We're on Twitter. You can check us out on our own webpage. You can support the channel. We have the super chat function, which is in the chat now. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but well, screw it. But if you would like, you could also donate. We have a donation button on the homepage where you can check us out there. You can donate if you like what you see to help support all the content that we're putting out right now. So I think we're good to go. So on behalf of myself, Grandpappy Patron, Darth Bella, Loki, and Turbs, and of course Remon, who had to go probably take care of some other stuff. Thanks everybody for watching and checking in, and we will see you guys on the Wednesday stream.
Absolutely.
See ya.
Bye-bye.